Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Marquise Kimball, and I'm so glad to be with you guys today. And I truly thank you, those of you that have joined with me today. And we truly appreciate the support that we have received throughout this entire time dealing with this situation that we unfortunately are still dealing with. It's a situation where we're to the place where we understand 1000% what it is like to uh, be mistreated, to deal with discrimination, and it go unchecked. Now, you guys know that we've been very vocal about our complaints, and we've even it's gotten to the place where now we've even started community action groups where we're assisting other people that may find themselves in a situation where they're fighting with their insurance company. And what one thing you have to always remember is you don't always have to first thing do is run and go get an attorney. The problem is with a lot of us is we don't like to sit down and read. We don't want to read anything. We want to sit back and think that we're just going to become smart and not have to learn and read and comprehend. So the reality of it is you have to get out of the lie of telling yourself that every time I'm in a situation, I got to call somebody to defend me. Now, if you're in a situation where you are involved in a crime, then by all means, you better get an attorney to defend your freedom. But at the end of the day, if you are in a situation where your rights were violated and you know they were violated, there are supposed places and people in place that the state of Ohio, under the leadership of the governor, are supposed to be in place. That is the channel, taking the proper channels on what to do to address your complaint. Now, I want you to understand on behalf of HCV Distribution Corporation, this has been day 744 or 743, I believe, since this substantial complaint was filed with the Ohio Department of Insurance. So they've had this complaint from our corporation with all of these substantial supporting evidence. What am I saying? That means that they even have the under oath testimony where the agent Jeff Lambert of State Farm, he literally says and admits under oath that he was having conversations with our former landowner of the property that our business was once corporate offices and retail location was once housed at. So the problem with State Farm in this whole scenario is from day one, they treated this situation as though it was a single personal claim, and they never even respected us enough to even jump online and see that this is a corporation. Now, some of you guys don't understand how businesses work, so I'm going to go ahead and give you some 101 here. Whenever there's a corporation established, you cannot establish a corporation by yourself. Understand what I just said to you. I'm going to say it to those way in the back that did not hear Mr. Kimball this morning. Nobody in America can establish a corporation through the state of any one of the United States, any one of the states, but especially the state of Ohio, by themselves. But day one, State Farm treated this claim as though this was a Marquise Kimball claim, and they were trying not to pay the black guy. Why am I saying this? Because you were not the person that walked in the shoes that I walked in and had to experience the treatment that we experienced in that community. You're not the business owner or owners that your business was neglected by law enforcement for over an hour, and your business was 0.2 miles from the law enforcement office. You were not wrongfully interrogated and treated like a criminal the day that the store was broken into. You were not pulled into a room at the police station and interrogated and tried to be forced to implicate that my sister had something to do with this, although the Swanton Police Department was late. None of these things happened to you. So you don't understand my fierceness about what transpired unchecked. You didn't get a phone call from your former employer that you were hoping that, hey, man, he's probably calling me for a job opportunity, but instead he's impersonating the same Swanton Police Department that mistreated you. You didn't go through any of these things. So to you, it's small. It's not very big. You didn't start the business from ground up. You didn't paint the walls. You didn't put not one product on the shelves. So you can miss me with, why am I taking this so serious and why are we constantly staying at it? These people robbed me, my family, and a lot of people that are connected to me, my business associates, shareholders, and partners. There's credit lines that we are still responsible for. There's tax liens that the corporation is now responsible for. We're constantly getting letters from the same exact state that has this complaint on their desk for over 2 years. We're getting letters from the state saying, HCV, you owe this, you owe that. Well, guess what? We can't pay that because our retail location was taken from us. And every single piece of product that we owned that was still on the property was taken and auctioned off. All of this happened on a property that we purchased. So you guys have to understand that I don't give two damns about how you, your daddy's brother, uncle's cousin feels about how many times you're seeing us in social media. If you don't like it, then I don't care if you unfriend us, unfollow us, because we have now almost over 100,000 followers between all of our social media platforms. We spent the last 2 years making sure that we put this information in front of everybody we possibly could, because we're not going to let these guys get away with the things that they did. So now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you guys the email that is going to the Honorable Governor Mike DeWine. It's on a schedule. This is an email that me and my guys got together. We thought about this together. We decided that this was something we're going to do. We proofread it. I had my girl type it up last night, and we all agreed that this needs to go to the governor. Why? Because the Ohio Department of Insurance is a scam. I said it. I think somebody's getting a kickback somewhere here. I think something's going on between them and State Farm, because how do you have concrete supporting evidence, which includes under oath? Now, let me give you something else, guys. If there's ever an under oath testimony, that's automatically admissible in court. So when you say and do anything under oath, they can use whatever you say in court. So the reality is we have the agent on camera. Guys, go back and watch the damn videos. You guys think I'm making this up or something? Go back and watch the video. Agent on camera justifying why he was having these conversations with the landlady who ended up changing the locks and was responsible for allowing people in there and selling our property. And then we find out under her answer under oath, he was also talking to her brother and her sister. Now, why is our agent that represents our corporation, our minority-owned corporation, somebody has to help me out with this today. Why is he having conversations with all of these people that are not listed on our policy? And there's not one document that anybody can produce that any one of the partners of this corporation signed, giving authorization for State Farm to disclose any information to that woman. And that's where the law was broke here. Forget the first robbery. You already said you don't want to cover that, and you came up with a scam and came back and said, oh, we think you did it. Well, why don't you tell the public that you offered us a $15,000 settlement before you said I did it? Why don't you say that, State Farm? See, you don't want to tell the public that, but you want to tell the public that a falsified scam and make me look like the bad guy? You better Google me. You better look up my name. You better type in Marquise Kimball and you look at how positive I've lived my life. And you're going to tell the world that I'm a criminal? Then where are the charges? You didn't produce any charges because you had no evidence of that crap. And guess what now? You ruined and defamed my character, our corporation's character. You ruined our business. And the longer you sit back and ignore it, the angrier we're going to get. That's the bottom line. So again, I hate to be so passionate early in the morning. But again, if you have a problem with what you're hearing or how it's being delivered to you, then by all means, unfriend, unfollow immediately. I've had enough with people that can't even support or get behind me that call themselves my friends and family. So I could give a damn, really. If you just don't like it, get out of here then. Because at the end of the day, I don't got time for dead weight. I don't want you if you're sitting in the background trying to, you're really just wanting to see it fail, so you don't want to even share a stat. Well, you better pray and hope to God that you don't yourself get into a situation with the insurance company and you're black. Because if you just Google State Farm, you'll see why I'm telling you, you don't want to get into it with them. They're known for discriminating against African Americans on every front, from employment to life insurance to automobile insurance, and you better damn well believe to property insurance. You can live a squeaky clean life, but if you're brown or what they say is black, they don't want to give you any coverage. They want to find a way to say that you had something to do with it. State Farm said that lie late in the game, but never once said, how could he have anything to do with it when the police were an hour late? Wait, this doesn't make any sense. But nobody's going to stand up in that defense. Nobody's going to say, well, damn it, I'm going to say it. I'm tired of playing with you guys. We're not going to play these games. You've made my family suffer. You've tore up my entire corporation. We shareholders, the partners of this corporation, we're in debt now. We're supposed to let that just sit out there in the sun? We're supposed to let that go? You were supposed to be our insurance company. And State Farm agent Jeff Lambert, you had no business discussing anything with anybody concerning our corporation, especially with no authorization. I mean, that's insurance 101. I learned that when I was the finance manager at McNeil's. You should know that. And then in her under oath answer, she says the corporate office told her. So not only did State Farm Jeff Lambert agent tell her our business and prepare her and give her foreknowledge to lock the doors and lock us out of our property, so did the corporate office 2 years ago. And nobody's saying anything. It's just sitting out in the wind. I'm tired of that sitting out in the wind stuff. So today, my friends, the governor, okay, it's 8:02. So guess what, friends? The governor got the email. I want to say, wait a minute, let me check here. The governor got the email 2 minutes ago. So let me go ahead and get my glasses on here, and I want to share with you guys just what went out to the governor today on behalf of our corporation. And again, like I said, this is something that me and my team got together last night. We looked up and we made sure that we covered everything. And we also attached to this email for the governor's viewing the actual formal complaint, because guys, don't forget, this complaint is already filed in court. We're taking these guys to court. We can fight this thing to the end. We're going to get a jury this time. We're not going to let you all slide by like last time, because that's another thing you guys don't know. After us, we waited a whole year to get in front of the judge. Somehow, some way, we're told to drop the case or we're going to lose it and refile it all over again. 2 days before we were supposed to appear in court. Now, you tell me how that works. I'll tell you how it works. It's called you're the black guy and you're out here in Fulton County. And we're going to do whatever we want to you out here. You don't like me saying this to you? Well, then you didn't walk in my shoes out here. You don't know what it was like walking into that courtroom. Dang on statue of Robert E. Lee in front of the damn courthouse. Get out of here. I walked into a place that was already trying to find a way to put a crime on me that they couldn't. The police took my fingerprints illegally, guys. The day of the incident, they took my fingerprints, and I'm one of the owners of the company. They were an hour late, 0.2 miles walking distance. And we have documentation that they purposely went in the wrong direction when they were caught. And then when they wrote up the report, they automatically are profiling me as a criminal in their description of the report. But they couldn't find my fingerprints on any of the property because I wasn't at the store for the 2 weeks before. I took a vacation. And they were upset they couldn't find my handprints because they wanted to say I did it. They wanted to, and they couldn't. But then you're going to come back and offer us $15,000. I tell you to kick rocks, go jump off a bridge. Then now you're coming back with, oh, we're denying you because we feel like you had something to do with it. That was your first scam. Then they come back with, oh, you lied about your finances. First of all, we shouldn't even be talking about my personal finances when I am one of the officers of the corporation. What are you talking about? This is a corporation. And if anybody has any sense, like I said, then you understand that a corporation is its own entity. It has its own essential social security number. It's like its own person. It's a completely different person. So this entire situation was wrong. It was complete mistreatment from the moment that we dealt with the Swanton Police Department. It was a scam since then. So yes, I have an issue with that whole community. I don't know who I can trust. McNeil's, you were implied too. You know why? Not because I dealt with years of you joking and calling me Harambe and calling me the black guy and calling me the token. Yeah, no, I'm taking the gloves off today. You know you did these things, and you know I have the evidence against you. However, the law says because I no longer work there and I resigned in 18, we're past the statute of limitations. So you racist bastards get to be called racist bastards. Probable cause that some racist stuff went on out here, but I can't really come back at you because of what you said to me while I was working there. Fine, I am smart enough to understand that. But what you can't wiggle out of is the fact that you tried to call me in 2024 while I'm fighting this whole thing out, trying to figure out what we're going to do, get our claim covered, trying to get this thing situated with State Farm. You know the situation with the police and everything, and you try to contact me, and you say, This is the Swanton PD. All a joke, by the way. And I'm not supposed to think that you may or may not have anything to do with the break-in. Come on, you're 6 miles from the damn business. This is what I'm saying. This entire Caucasian community, you guys must understand what I'm faced with out here. And if you don't think racism goes on in Swanton, then you better pull out your phone and Google it yourself. You can see what I'm talking about. I dealt with it myself, and I was a business owner who was shaking hands with the mayor one day, who was allowing businesses to plug their stupid toys into our business, use our electricity for their stupid parties downtown, who was connected to all the businesses in town. Everybody knew me. Everybody knew our store because we lit up the corner of the street. And you're going to sit back and now tell me that I made a complaint to the mayor's office about what the police did to me. He did nothing about it. Yes, Mayor Neil Tope. He's a big, fat scam in Swanton, and I don't understand how you guys keep electing this scam. He doesn't stand up and defend anything. Oh, I'm doing my best to put a complaint in on him, formal. Because I got direct conversations between me and this mayor and me explaining to the mayor how his officers mistreated me, how they wrongfully took my fingerprints, how they took me in a room and wrongfully interrogated. I told him, and we went back and forth, direct messages on Facebook. I have the conversations. He promised that they'd get another police department involved to help investigate our claim. Our case. You know what they did? They dropped the entire case with no suspects the minute we hired an attorney. That's what happened. So I don't give a damn. The judge, the court, will hear our real story this time. And it's not going to be buffed up and manipulated by anybody else, because right now, you bastards stole everything from me and my family and also all of our partners and our shareholders, and you robbed my grandkids of their future. And you think we're going to sit back and let you walk away from it? 10 years of my life, I worked out there in that community, making over $100,000 a year. You think I'm going to be able to make that again, working for somebody else at 41? Stop it. So no, we're not going to stop with you. Every day, we're going to share with the public exactly what we're doing, the responses we're getting, how they're returning us, because I want you to see what black people go through. I'm tired of everybody saying, oh, racism don't exist. Because I guarantee you, if I was Caucasian, I would not be still 2 years later asking the regulatory authorities to do their damn jobs. So here we go. To the office of the Honorable Governor Mike DeWine. One more thing I'd like to say. My mother, I give her credit. She's no longer here with us, but I give my mother credit because she taught me as a child that you better learn. You need to know how to climb the ladder is what she taught me. She used to say it to me at a very young age, 7, 8 years old. I can remember my mother. She wouldn't take no for an answer. If she'd be on the phone with somebody, I'd hear her going at it. And it's something I picked up from her, because it taught me that, no, I'm not going to sit here and listen to your stupid happy horse scam answer. I'm going to teach myself to read and learn and see what is next to do, since you want to play games with me like I'm some kind of idiot. So now we're at the governor's office today. We're done sending confirmation or trying to contact the Department of Insurance. We're tired of hearing the stupid, your complaint is in the final stages. In 2 years? It takes you 2 years to come up with evidence that they did some wrong stuff when we got evidence of him under oath on camera? What kind of idiots are you? Who do you have in this office? Maybe Trump and Elon needs to come through there and fire that whole damn department. Why? Because you're not doing anything for the people. Why are you lying on your websites and on social media? You do nothing for the consumer. But if you had evidence against me that I did some fraud, you'd be trying to throw me in jail. That's the difference. Shame on you, state of Ohio. So here we go. We're climbing the ladder today. Governor Mike DeWine. Let's go. We, the members of HCV Distribution Corporation, a minority-owned organization, respectfully request your office's immediate involvement in addressing a critical issue we have presented to the Ohio Department of Insurance, ODI. Now, understand something. The governor is not, he doesn't sit over, yeah, well, he does. But the ladder is like this. He appoints a insurance commissioner. Our commissioner for the state of Ohio, her name is Judith French. If you think you're going to ever talk to her directly by email, you can forget it. Her email's out there. You can get her email, but guess what? I think it goes to her same scamified people she's got on her team that don't give a damn. Because at the end of the day, why is she not involved in this situation, especially this situation now, especially at this point? So today, not only did the Department of Insurance get copies of these emails, but Miss Judith French got copies as well. Now, she is directly appointed by the governor. She oversees the Department of Insurance. I'm done playing with the department. I don't even give a damn whoever sits over there anymore. I want their boss. And that means we need to go to the honorable governor. See, I know a lot of you guys have never, ever dealt with a situation where you need to reach out to the governor. But there is a respectful way that we as Black people need to be not afraid to do when our rights are violated. We're scared to deal with the law when people mistreat us. But they yank us into the law whenever they want to. Let's play on the same playing field now. You guys broke the law several times. Where's our justice? Forget your comments, your commentary, your thoughts. Who gives a damn? Where's our justice? Because you guys broke the law, and you know you did. And the reality is anybody can read with a half of a brain. So why is the Ohio Department of Insurance taking 2 years to find these people guilty and hand out some consequences? If the tables would turn, they would be handing them out to me. I guarantee it. But State Farm, they've got enough money to go ahead and take 2 years. And Jeff Lambert keeps a job. Although he screwed over the Black guy. Guess what? We were the only Black-owned business in Swanton, the entire city at that time. I don't know what the hell's going on now, but I'll tell you right then, we were the only ones. Jeff Lambert gets away with this and nothing gets done to him. He can come to work every day. You bastard. Why don't we switch places? Why don't you come live in our life and me and my family come live in your life? Because you robbed it from us. You bastard. So ODI, this matter concerns severe violations of our rights and privacy that have been disregarded without any consequences for the unlawful behavior committed by State Farm Fire and Casualty Company and its agent, Jeff Lambert. As of today, it has been 742 days, guys. Now, I want you to name me one Caucasian person in the world that has had to wait 742 days to get a department that is appointed by the elected official, supposed governor, to defend them when you have concrete evidence that the insurance broke the law that you guys stand behind. This is what I'm saying here. I don't even understand the scam. No consequences. Disregarded without any consequences for the unlawful behavior committed by State Farm and its agent. So 742 days since our corporation formally notified the ODI of these serious violations. We provided substantial evidence, including sworn testimony from our former agent, Jeff Lambert of Swanton, Ohio, who admitted, Guys, go back and watch the videos. It's everywhere. Under oath to unlawfully disclose in private corporate claim details. These disclosures directly violate the Privacy Protection Act and Section 3904.13 of the Ohio Revised Code. I suggest you, fellow Black citizens, female, male, boy, girl, spend some time instead of getting on your phone and looking at nothing but bullshit. Spend some time learning the law. Because you may have to stand up one day and you are not prepared for it. You didn't know it was coming. Because I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that tells me racism doesn't exist can kiss my natural black ass. Because you are not in these shoes. It does exist. Do you know 50% of the time the insurance companies deny African Americans just because of them being black? Do you know State Farm has been sued because they refuse to give insurance to certain demographic areas because of it being a black area? They refuse to give life insurance to black people. This is all stuff you can look up. So they're doing right in your neighborhood to scam, robbing people and taking their money. No way. Our entire business shouldn't have been taken from us with no consequences under the watch of State Farm. So he says, we go on and we continue here. He admits under oath to unlawfully disclosing private corporate claim details. These disclosures direct the Privacy Protection Act and Section 3904.13 of the Revised Code. Despite this clear and concrete evidence, our complaints have been overlooked. We strongly feel they are being disregarded by the department. This lack of action has resulted in devastating consequences for our corporation. Specifically, the unlawful disclosures led to the total loss of property and assets at our former retail location, HCV store, Swanton. Those of you remember our store. It's no longer there anymore. I don't even know what scam is in the building, but can we at least get a thank you for the paint job? Can we get a thank you for the walls? Can we get a thank you for the floors that me and my wife and our family members were in there on our hands and knees tearing up carpet and painting? Can we get a thank you? Can we at least get that? Because I tell you what, that business that's sitting there, we put that business together with our hard-earned money. We put that business together. They did nothing. Over the past 2 years, we have repeatedly requested intervention from the ODI. I can produce from you guys to you guys right now, if I had to, over 150 emails that we have tried and attempted. Phone calls, different people. Oh, we're going to send you to the manager, Paul. He never calls you back. Oh, we're going to send you to Angie Terrell. She's going to come back and justify why the insurance company did what they did. This is what we've experienced. And I 1,000% believe it's 1,000% because we're black. I promise you. Anybody else would have produced certificates, articles of corporation with listed people, filed with the state, board of directors, all of the things that we produce. They would not have to prove this long that they had a corporation that existed since 2019, and we've got evidence of it. Just because we started the store up does not mean we were not doing business. I spent a whole damn almost 3 months in Denver out there with farmers. I got pictures of it. I was a hemp distributor, CBD distributor, wholesale and retail. Where do you guys get off thinking that this was all just retail? Then you want to say you can't explain, understand my fine, because you don't understand why we got a $2,000 payment today and why we got a $900 payment the next day. Because, dumbass, I'm going to say it like this, because back then, CBD wasn't legal and banks didn't let us open up accounts. Any CBD owner will tell you the same thing right now. Now that THC is legal, we don't have the same problems we had back then. Back then, we only could use certain places. PayPal was one of them. So a lot of CBD, THC dealers during that time, they did big transactions with cash. And that's perfectly fine. It's not illegal, especially if you got documentation of it. You don't like our documentation. You want to say it's fudged. That's what you want to say. We give you documentation, but you don't like it. That's what happened, State Farm. Let's stop playing these games. And you better believe our team of attorneys this time is going to say these things to you in the way that they need to say it legally. I'm just giving it to the public what our gripes are, because this is ridiculous. Those of you that feel like I said, you're sick of hearing the story, then get off my damn page. Quit watching us. You can't even support us. You won't even send in $1 to help us. So get out of here. I don't give a damn. I'm not losing no sleep. But those of you that will one day are in this situation, I'm going to be an advocate for you. So you better start learning this free information that I'm giving you. We started a whole support group that's got 2,000 members in it. And none of them are my Facebook friends. So you mean to tell me I've invited all of you scams to a group that you don't know? I guarantee you don't know the law like you should. This is free information. I ask you guys to come over and support this group, and you can't even come over and follow it? Then why are you following me? Get off of my pages. Get off of our company pages. Quit looking at us. If you're not going to roll up your sleeves and say, look, I see what happened to you. They need to be held accountable. What can we do? Where's that type of conversation? Not one person has stepped up and said nothing like that. So at the end of the day, I could give a damn of how you feel about how I'm delivering what I'm delivering. But I am giving you information that you may need, especially if you're walking around with the same skin as me. Because you will be in a situation, I promise you, where you may need to deal with that insurance company. And I'm telling you, they don't want to pay black folks. They just don't want to pay us. The statistics show it. I ain't making this up. 50% of the time we're denied just because. Oh, we don't want to pay this guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, the police were late, but yeah, we don't. Why didn't you question the police, State Farm? Why didn't you find out why did it take them an hour to show up? Were you getting donuts? Why didn't you question the police like you questioned me? Why didn't you even call my wife? You didn't even pick up the phone and call my wife to verify that I was at home in bed with her. You didn't even do any of that. You immediately said to the public false, derogatory statements after you published discriminatory comments about my clothes. So no, we're just not going to let this one go. This lack of action has resulted in devastating consequences for our corporation. Well, we went down that lane already. Over the past 2 years, we have repeatedly requested intervention from the ODI, but have consistently been told that our claim remains under review. Like I said, how many times do we got to keep being told that? How many times? I just got a problem. I just something just tells me if we were McNeil Chevrolet or if we were Tano's Pizza, which was right next door to us, we still would not be trying to prove our innocence. And we sure as hell would not have lost our business and all of our property. And the insurance company just thinks they're not going to pay any of it. This is what we go through as black people. So, like I said, you can disregard what I'm showing you, or you can retain it, because one day you may need me as an advocate to help you. And guess what? I'm not going to charge you and find a way to take advantage of you, because I've been in your shoes and I want to help you get out of this, because these scams I have it in for all of them. All states literally let us stay in the home that we're in now, inhaling mold, because they were trying to hide that our policy had mold coverage on it. They were trying to hide that coverage. They didn't want to release the fact that I paid for a policy that covered even in the event that our home had mold. At this time, my grandson was living here with my daughter. He was a baby. And so he's breathing in mold. Are you crazy, Allstate? When we found out that this is what they did, I lost it on them. And they immediately took my family out of the house and put them in a hotel and paid for the entire stay. But you want to know what they put on my name? $100,000 loss. They immediately characterized me as the person that had the loss, making me look bad to the public. Although they dropped the ball, and we're in that position because of what they did. The whole house had to be tore out because of the mold. Allstate, that's what happened. Don't you remember? So these companies don't care about you, especially Allstate or State Farm. This is my true experiences. And this is what our corporation is still fighting. State Farm's actions include serious privacy breaches, bad faith practices, defamation of our professional name and corporation. These actions have caused substantial financial burdens for our organization, partners, associates, and shareholders. The sworn admission from our former agent is undeniable evidence that State Farm committed these violations. If I said something under oath admitting, they're going to say, oh, yeah, it's valid. But because he said it, nobody in the circle here wants to say it's valid. We got to keep saying it. We got to keep throwing it in your face. Department of Insurance, what do you stand behind if you won't even stand behind the whole damn revised code that you're supposed to be identified with? I'm not reading something I made up. This is the law you wrote. You claim you stand behind. How in the world don't you see the violation? We don't even have to talk about anything else. All of the other stuff that happened. Forget everything else. Let's just stay right here. Yet ODI has continued to overlook this evidence while providing no assistance or support despite numerous requests. None of this is lies, guys. I don't lie to the government. I'm not telling some fake stuff. These are truthful statements, just the way it has been. And I am representing the corporation, so the whole team is not on this call with me. But you better believe this is an email that was sent from the whole entire team. We all got together, and this was all generated with what we decided. So I'm giving it to you the way we decided it. But don't think for 1 second that this is something that I just all me. No. Never was all me. It would have been in my name then, dummy. Why wasn't the insurance policy in my name? Then you would have had the right to do all of those things you did to me. The insurance policy was in the corporation's name, guys. Do you hear me? So that means that we were just like Walmart, any other corporation out there. None of this should have happened. State Farm's not going to go share Walmart's claim information with anybody. They're not going to go down the street to McDonald's and share their claim information with anybody. Oh, they're not going to Starbucks and sharing their information, but they're going to go to the black guy in Swanton and get away with breaking the law under oath on camera, and nothing happens. Stay in business, and everybody out here can still buy insurance from me. Hoo, yay. But if I would have broke the law out there, especially in Swanton, they would have been right there with handcuffs. They didn't. You think it was easy just opening up in an area that's nothing but Caucasian? You think everybody out there loved us? No. And they really didn't like the fact because they knew that I made over 6 figures a year, whether I did it at McNeil's sitting there in that finance office or I did it in a business that they saw us build from the ground up. And you're going to tell me that 8 months in, we're making over $100,000 in sales, that we're just going to set up and cook up an insurance scam and somehow time it just in time of when the police going to arrive. Man, stop playing with me. Undeniable evidence. Unauthorized recipient of information. These are all facts, guys. Jeff Lambert, our former State Farm agent, admitted under sworn testimony to unlawfully disclosing our corporation's private corporate claim information to Deborah McSorley, who was not listed on the policy and did not have written consent from any of the members of or officers of our organization. The only two clauses in that revised code that allows the insurance company to disclose any information to anybody. So anybody calling the insurance company, they cannot get information about your claim. They can't even get your claim number if they don't have written consent from you or they're listed on your policy with you. That's the only two clauses here. Neither one of these things happened. State Farm had zero right to be talking to any one of the McSorleys concerning our claim, our claims decision, our claims anything. That is a serious breach of privacy. I want you guys to understand something. This is not me making something up. I wouldn't spend my time telling you guys about this because you're going to go through it one day. And you better know what to do. This is a severe breach of our privacy and a violation of the law. You don't believe me? Direct violation of ORC, Ohio Revised Code 3901.22, which clarifies that insurers, State Farm, cannot disclose claim details or determinations to third parties who are not listed on the policy or have not obtained written consent from the policyholder. Do you guys see what I'm talking about here? So we ain't even through the whole thing yet. And there shouldn't even be any, it shouldn't take 2 years to see this violation happen. Conversations about the claim. Lambert revealed that he had conversations about our corporate claim with Deborah McSorley, as well as Pat McSorley and Robin McSorley, none of whom were listed on the corporate policy or authorized to receive this information. Again, these are her relatives. So not only did this guy have unauthorized conversations with her, preparing her to do what she ended up doing to our business, but he talked to her family relatives too. And you're going to tell me nothing's supposed to be done about this? Ohio Department of Insurance, what are you? I mean, I don't even understand the scam here. Actions taken after receiving the information. Deborah McSorley took several actions after receiving the unauthorized claim information from State Farm agent Jeff Lambert. McSorley conducted unauthorized auctions of our business property and assets. These actions resulted in a complete, total loss of all of the property which was on the premises, documented with photographs and video. So you mean to tell me we've got video evidence of what was still in that store, still on those shelves the day of the break-in? A TV still hanging up, camera system still in here, property still in the back, property still in walls, instruments still here, personal items here, people's personal social security numbers are here, credit repair clients' information is here. All of this information is in my corporate offices out there in Swanton. And you are going to sit back here and tell me that nothing is going to be done about this? It's not going to happen. So he had these conversations with her relatives. Actions taken after receiving the information. Deborah McSorley took several actions after receiving the unauthorized claim information from State Farm agent Jeff Lambert. McSorley conducted unauthorized auctions of our business property and assets. These actions resulted in a complete total loss of all of the property, which was on the premises, documented in photographs and videos. So let me make sure you guys, let me go back here. We had a tip come in about a month ago that there was an auction that went on all throughout Fulton County during this time. And our property was involved in this auction. Now, this is all speculation. I don't have any evidence of this, so I cannot give you concrete proof of this. So I'm just telling you guys that this is speculation on that side. I have no idea. Every bit of things that I tell you, I got concrete evidence of. But this was a tip that came in through somebody that I don't know that said this information. So I don't know if it's true or not. But hey, why isn't this a question of? Because if it is, somebody needs to come forward with some of this property. All I need to see is one piece of that property. Show me the TV. Show me the furniture. Show me something. Because none of that stuff was returned to us. While we were still insured, while we were facing and going through a baseless, ridiculous investigation that lasted over 250 days. And when they couldn't come up with a reason, they said, they literally made up a reason. So you're going to call me an insurance fraud. Well, then you should be charging me with that. I should be talking to an attorney to fight you in court as a defendant. Why am I fighting you as a plaintiff if I just committed fraud with you? Stop it. State Farm, stop it. Potential legal implications. The unauthorized disclosure of information to Deborah McSorley directly violates Section 3904.13 of the Ohio Revised Code and the Ohio Insurance Information and Privacy Protection Act, which prohibits insurance companies from disclosing policy information, including claim determinations to unauthorized parties. Despite this information supported with concrete evidence, the department has overlooked these violations while providing no support or assistance regarding this matter. Discriminatory practices. During this overextended, baseless investigation conducted by State Farm, while determining our corporate claim, State Farm published, clients showed up wearing a blue suit with a loud tie, with an excessive amount of jewelry, and was very braggadocious. Now, listen, you guys didn't just fall under a rock. You didn't just wake up yesterday. You didn't just, we're not in first grade here. If you have a half of a brain, you can already see the profiling in that statement. And if don't even try to say State Farm, it didn't matter, it's just normal. No, bullshit, because then you wouldn't have put it down. Let's start there. If it don't matter, then why was that put out there? And number two, that's an opinion. You think my tie was loud, but you get to say that while you're determining our claim and document that as one of the reasons of why. Man, if you don't stop it, anybody with a half of a brain can see what State Farm was doing there when they published that. Nothing's done about this ODI. Governor Mike DeWine, come on. Please. Whoever is in your department, whoever you have appointed, whatever needs to be done here, somebody at the top needs to be held accountable here, because the people in the department are doing nothing for our corporation and watching our business crumble every single day. We're getting hit with bills every single day. Who's supposed to pay those bills? Because I got news for you. I'm making $30,000 a year as an assistant manager at Stop and Go because of what you guys did to us. When for 10 plus years of my life, I made 6 figures a year, and 2 of those years was on my own without the help of McNeil's. And you robbed that from us. So I don't give a damn. We're not going to let this one go. You're going to have to stand for what you allowed to happen here. You don't get to publish that about a person. And on top of that, I'm not the person that's the insured. The corporation is. So why do you even have this documented as if I am the client? All of this stuff is illegal, which is not only a false statement, but is discriminatory and unethical. First, Mr. Kimball is not the client, but is an officer of the corporation and defines the discriminatory practices that we allege. So there's your racial discrimination State Farm has been pulling throughout these 2 years. So we've got the evidence of all of this. Key violations. Ohio Revised Code 3901.21, unfair discrimination. Prohibits unfair discrimination between individuals of the same class and of essentially the same hazard in the amount of premium, policy fees, rate charge, or underwriting standards and practices. Violation using subjective non-risk related factors, clothing, jewelry, demeanor, to assess a claim constitutes unfair discrimination if similar risks are treated differently based on irrelevant personal characteristics. It was irrelevant to type out, I had on a blue suit. No, it wasn't irrelevant to type that out. Let me take that back. The blue suit was normal. Okay, understand. Let's talk about this, guys. The blue suit was normal to type out. Anybody can type out a blue suit, and I'm sure you have to type this. This is a court reporter, so yes. But where you started getting funny, State Farm, was when you threw that loud tie comment in there. When you threw that braggadocious comment in there. How am I braggadocious when I'm answering the questions that you're giving me? You're the one conducting the questions. I'm answering them. You don't like my answers. So you get to document that I'm braggadocious? You get to document this because you're upset when you're asking me why did I make $100,000 a year at McNeil's? How did I get that job is what you're asking me. They asked me several times, how did I get the job at McNeil's? Like I wasn't supposed to get a job based on my abilities. Who did this for you? They had it in for me when they saw from day one that me and my wife been married for 20 years and we had kids that went through college and we lived in Springfield and my kids graduated. They had a problem from that because they asked all of those questions which had nothing to do with our corporate claim. They wanted to know everything about me, my wife, and my kids. 6 hours. And this is what they're writing about me? In that 6 hours? Stop it. Violation. Why is this statement problematic? Irrelevance to risk. Appearance and demeanor have no bearing on the legitimacy of an insurance claim. We just talked about that. Potential racial bias. Disparate impact. No actual data links clothing, jewelry to claim validity. Publishing such statements in claim determination violates confidentiality and anti-discrimination laws. Furthermore, these statements published by State Farm falsely identifies Mr. Kimball as the client when the HCV Distribution Corporation is the insured. Mr. Kimball's appearance had nothing to do with the HCV Distribution's corporate claim due to the hate crime that occurred. Additionally, publishing subjective, non-risk related critiques of a minority-owned business representatives during a claim process violates the Ohio Revised Code 3901.21. ODI, where are you? This is the law you stand behind. Who do we got to talk to at your department? We need the governor that we've elected. Let's see how this works. The person that we called, that we elected. You know, I think it's all a scam because why do we have to? This is not just with the Ohio Department of Insurance, guys. This complaint has made it to the Federal Trade Commission. They have a complaint. The Ohio Civil Rights Commission has a complaint. All of these people have commissions, and they're all supposed to be regulating these situations. But they're not doing a damn thing to help us. So miss me with the, oh, racism doesn't exist. Oh, it still does. Sure does. And I got nothing but evidence I'm reading to you to show it and prove it to you. We're going through it together. Clear evidence of it. The gravity of this complaint has prompted investigations by both the FTC, the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, which are still active. Additionally, this situation has escalated to a formal legal complaint filed in Fulton County Court of Common Pleas awaiting trial scheduling. We're deeply disappointed by the consistent disregard shown by the ODI toward these unlawful actions. This contradicts the principles that the ODI claims to uphold regarding consumer protection and fair treatment. As you appoint the insurance director overseeing ODI operations, we urge your office to intervene immediately in this matter. Furthermore, during State Farm's baseless 250-day investigation to our claim, they failed to conduct a thorough review. They did not contact or interview any additional members or partners of our corporation, but instead focused solely on one individual while publishing defamatory statements about his physical appearance, an act that constitutes discriminatory practices. Additionally, we have documented numerous extensive inappropriate visits to our social media platforms by State Farm's employees. Now, their attorney told me, we're not allowed to contact them. This is what the attorney told me. Out the gate, she made that plain. And she also said we can't even call her office. We got to talk to her by email. So that gave her the right to answer us whenever she feels like it. So we had to email her over 100 times. And you know what she did? She threatened us with criminal charges because we were emailing her. I got evidence of that too. Oh, yes, all of this went on. So you're going to make it look like I'm a criminal when I'm asking you to address these violations, and you're choosing to ignore me. Get out of here. This is, again, what we went through. You want to know what color their attorney is? Oh, she's just as white as they are. Caucasian. And she literally, the first thing she did was threaten me with criminal charges. What? I've never been in jail. I've never been a criminal. I've never been in trouble. And you're going to sit here and make me a criminal? You raggedy, or you're going to make me a criminal right now because I'm asking you to address these violations that your client committed. You're ignoring it. You're disregarding it. You're skating past it while denying every one of our opportunities to settle. No, this is just not going to go away just like this. And I need for the public to understand the validity of this and the seriousness of it. Stop thinking this is just some guy trying to get a claim, because it's not. These guys committed an atrocity and they need to be held accountable for it. Despite numerous attempts to seek assistance from the ODI, they have ignored strong and admissible evidence supporting our claims. This lack of action has rallied significant community support for our case, resulting in the formation of a community action group called the Insurance Action Network. I told you guys, black folks, Facebook, get on there now. Go join the group. We developed it just to give free information to our community that goes through these situations and what to do. Because they make you believe that you got to go get an attorney and spend all this money. No. If we have elected officials that are supposed to oversee certain places and certain departments and certain businesses, including insurance companies, to make sure, no, you're not getting away with mistreating somebody, then you better damn well believe when they did it, we have a right to address these people. If not, then why in the hell are you elected, Governor, if I can't address you? This lack of action has rallied significant community support for our cause, resulting in the formation of a community. So you guys need to go join it, which now has over 2,000 members advocating for justice on behalf of minority-owned businesses like ours. So again, if you have a business and you're in Toledo, Ohio, and you happen to be African-American, you better have business insurance. But you also better be connected to our community action group. Just in case, because we're going to provide free support. We're going to go through your policy with you. We're going to help you understand what you've got and what you don't have. How much is your limits? We're going to make sure you understand the language they like to slide in there that you don't know anything about. They hand you a 600-page document that you never open up. But when something happens and you need to file a claim, the first thing they're trying to do is put it on you. Find a way to say you did it so they don't have to pay it out, especially if you're black. That's the MO of State Farm. You don't believe me? All you got to do is Google. You can Google for everything else, but you don't want to Google for no facts that I'm telling you can look up. Advocating for justice on behalf of minority-owned businesses like ours. So if you are, again, if you're minority-owned, I want you guys to join that group. Our complaint has garnered thousands of views across social media platforms such as YouTube, LinkedIn, formerly Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, Truth Social, TikTok, as well as coverage from numerous news outlets. We again request your office's immediate involvement to ensure accountability and justice for HCV Distribution Corporation. Thank you for your attention to this urgent matter. We look forward to your response and action on behalf of our organization. We have also attached the formal complaint filed in Fulton County to this email, detailing the numerous violations and mistreatment that we have experienced by State Farm, ignored and disregarded. The actions committed by State Farm not only violated our rights as a minority-owned organization, but also is in direct violation of the United States Constitution. We request yet again your office's immediate involvement in this unresolved situation, still unresolved and disregarded as of today. So once again, folks, this is what was sent to the Honorable Governor Mike DeWine's office today. Again, if you don't have any support for us, you don't want to even share what we're going through on your platforms. All you want to do is sit back in the background because you're praying for our downfall. We don't need you. Okay, so just unfriend, unfollow. We now have almost 100,000 followers across all of those platforms I just mentioned. All you got to do is type it in, Word on the Street Talk TV or HCV Distribution Corporation, and you will see the lengths that we have went through and the things that we've done to try to get our situation handled with these offices. Instead of them doing what they need to do as these elected companies. This is why these people are scams. How are you making $270,000 a year and we can't even get you to do your job when we present to you a violation, numerous violations by a company that you are supposed to oversee? You're supposed to make sure they don't do these things. And if they do these things, it's up to you to make sure that the complainant gives legitimate proof or evidence to support it. We gave you under oath sworn evidence from Deborah McSorley, from Jeff Lambert. You published the racist remarks yourself. This is all evidence. And the problem is you're mad that I kept all of the evidence. See, I've kept every single piece of anything that has happened with this entire situation since it happened. And they're upset because they can't tell me what didn't happen. I'm the person that knows the entire story. If you just always tell the truth, you don't have to remember. See, I don't have to remember. State Farm has changed attorneys 3 or 4 times since we filed this claim. I've had to change 2 times, not of any fault of my own. You get an attorney that tells you, oh, we're not going to trial and I won't be representing you. What? A week before we're supposed to see the jury? What happened here? Did State Farm pay you? What went on that you're going to come back and tell me without any proof that if I don't do this, I'm risking going to jail for insurance fraud? That's what the scam that was supposed to be representing us before said to us a week before we were supposed to appear in court. Get a load of that. And then I'm supposed to believe that racism doesn't exist, especially within the insurance sector? Stop it. They don't pay out to Black folks, especially State Farm. So we're sharing this information every single day The intent today was to let the public know what the next move we made today. And it was now to ring the bell of this supposed elected official. Now we're going to see what we get, what response we get back, and we'll come back and share with you guys the response. Hopefully they give us a response. If they don't, I'm going to urge this entire public, don't vote for anything that even rhymes with DeWine. Now, I don't think he's not running this next to go around anyway. But even if he shows up later, an old Bernie Sanders scam, and pops out of nowhere and says, I want to run for the president. If he ignores this, I'm going to tell you guys. And I'm going to make sure you understand why you better not vote for the guy. Because at the end of the day, it's time for us, especially us black folks, to demand something for our vote. You're not going to make me Democrat because your daddy and your granddaddy's brother was Democrat and everybody before them was. You're not going to. No. What are you going to give me in return for what you're asking me? You're asking me to give you a position of leadership and trust that when I'm in a situation, I'm going to be able to depend on you. Then what are you giving me for that? And it's time to start demanding that. These people get into these positions, don't do anything, and then automatically assume that they got our support. No. I don't care if you're blue or you're red. I don't care if you're Democrat or you're Republican. If I come to you with evidence of violations that happened to our corporation, a minority-owned business, with evidence to support everything we're saying, then I expect you, we expect you to do your damn job. What you were elected to do, which is standing up to help defend the people. If you're not doing that, then why are you even in there? Why is our tax dollars paying your salary? And yes, I get to say that now because I have to go back to work now. So our tax dollars is paying your salary. Then I got a damn well right to ask you, why is it taking you over 700 days to address a situation that you know is against the law? Stop playing with us. Governor Mike DeWine, we expect a response. Until next time, I want you guys to, first of all, like, share, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Word on Street Talk TV. But I definitely want you guys to, if you can, share this story with your friends and family. Don't forget to go over to the Facebook group, the Insurance Action Network group, and just like the group. That's it. Join as a follower. I'm not asking you to do money from you. I'm not asking you to do anything for me in return. All I want to do is be a voice of support for those in our community that are faced with these situations and don't know what to do. So again, please like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, be blessed. On purpose.
The water shut off at the building. And I explained to her that the SACOM has nothing to do with it. That we have to talk to either the water department because we want to do some cleanup for
State Farm under fire for numerous violations of civil rights, privacy violations, breach of contract, bad faith practices, discriminatory practices. Don't trust State Farm.
I have no idea. Did you recall what that was about?
Yeah, to make you aware that there was a break-in.
Jeff Lambert, a State Farm in Ohio, is facing serious allegations of privacy violations and unethical conduct. The accusations against Lambert include unlawful disclosure of client information. Lambert is accused of sharing sensitive corporate insurance claim information belonging to the HCV Distribution Corporation to unauthorized third parties, including individuals not listed on the corporate policy. This is a violation of Ohio insurance laws. Lambert's actions allegedly violate Section 3904 of the Ohio Revised Code and the Ohio Insurance Information and Privacy Protection Act, which prohibit insurance companies from disclosing policy information without written consent. Sworn testimony admission. In October 2023, Lambert reportedly provided sworn testimony disclosing claim information related to the HCV Distribution Corporation. Perjury. Lambert reportedly provided sworn testimony in October 2023 admitting to unlawfully disclosing claim information related to the HCV Distribution Corporation. These allegations have led to legal action against State Farm, with HCV Distribution Corporation filing a complaint in the Fulton County Court of Common Pleas. The case involves claims of privacy violations, bad faith practices, breach of contract, defamation of character, and discriminatory practices.
I'm wondering if you know this love is true. Love is true. I've got a slow start, but I believe we'll be alright. It's gonna be alright. Joy and love.